Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks for dropping by. Hope everyone's doing well. Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. I'm actually not in the Horror Zone right now. I'm actually in my office, or like I like to dub it, the Horror Vault, because I keep all my movies in here. Wanted to do a quick video today, and it wasn't something I really planned. I had been thinking about it, but because today we lost beloved actor Rutger Hauer, beloved character actor, he passed away on July the 19th at the age of 75. We just found out today, so he didn't pass away today. He passed away a few days ago. But it got me thinking about the Salem's Lot miniseries from 2004, because in that film, Rutger Hauer played Barlow. And in that film, Barlow is much more in line with the book. Barlow is not a Nosferatu like he is in the Tobe Hooper miniseries from '79. He's much more like Dracula, much more refined. In fact, a lot of the reason why James Mason was cast as the role of Straker in the '79 film is because Barlow was going to be changed in terms of his the way that he was going to be portrayed by Reggie Nalder. A lot of the way that Mason played Straker was how Barlow was portrayed in the book. I have the 2004 miniseries. I don't know if it's as readily available. I got this back in, I'm going to say 2005. It's going back at least 14, 15 years. It aired in the summer of 2004. It all aired at once. It was on TNT. It was part one and part two, so it was 4 hours. And in this movie, you have Rob Lowe playing Ben Mears, and at this point, Rob Lowe had already played in Stephen King's The Stand miniseries. You have Andre Brower, who plays playing Matt Burke. You have James Cromwell playing Father Callahan. You have Donald Sutherland playing Straker. You have, of course, Rutger Hauer playing Barlow. And then you have Samantha Mathis playing Susan Norton. The movie was written by Peter Filardi and directed by Michael Salem. Now, the 1979 Salem's Lot miniseries being my favorite movie of all time. Salem's Lot, the novel, is my favorite book of all time. I've read the novel at least 3 times. I haven't read it in at least 15 years, but as a kid I read it numerous times. And I have to say that there are some beats in this film that are right from the book. I always had a problem with its execution and its pacing. One of the main things I also had a problem with was some of the acting. And I like Rob Lowe a lot. I think he's a terrific actor. I've seen him in some great films. He's got terrific comedic timing, and when he needs to be dramatic, he's fantastic. In this film, though, I just did not buy him as Ben Mears. He brings nothing to the role, and it's a shame because there is talent there. Another problem I have with this is, and no disrespect to the actor, but I am not a big Donald Sutherland fan. I love his son, Kiefer Sutherland. I think he's a terrific actor. Donald Sutherland, for me, most of the time I just don't like his performances. I don't think he's that great of an actor. I know a lot of people like him, and that's cool, but for me, he just destroyed and ruined the role of Straker. Just didn't care for his portrayal at all. I did think Andre Brower was good as Matt Burke, but I just didn't feel like he got to shine very much in it. Samantha Mathis was okay, but again, I didn't feel the chemistry between her and Rob Lowe like I felt between Bonnie Bedelia and David Soul in the original. Their chemistry was right there from the moment they shared a scene together. It was completely believable. I did like Dan Bird as Mark Petrie. I don't like him as much as I liked Lance Kerwin in the original, but again, this is a 21st century Mark Petrie, and I believed the way that he played him. There was sometimes I thought it was a little overuse of attitude and cussing and things like that, and sometimes it seemed a little bit forced, but for the most part, at least he tried to do something different with the role. Also, gotta say, James Cromwell, great job as Father Callahan. Father Callahan is a very small part. It's a very small part in the miniseries, and he's a huge part of the book. And I thought that Cromwell brought a terrific presence, and I really liked his portrayal of that character, which is a funny note that I will mention. But Julie Cobb, who played Bonnie in the original miniseries, was married to James Cromwell for a number of years. I think they've divorced at this point, but it's kind of funny that they were both in an adaptation of Salem's Lot. Now, Rutger Hauer, I think he was fantastic as an actor, and I thought he did a great job in this movie playing the different version of Barlow. I like it as much as the version that Reggie Nalder played. No, because I grew up with that, and I still think it worked well in the book to have Barlow the way he is, but it works so much it's so more menacing the way that Barlow is in Hooper's film. That being said, I think that Rutger Hauer did a terrific job in this film. I think he's one of the strongest elements alongside Dan Bird and James Cromwell in this film. They all elevate this material 100%. There's scenes in this film that they try to recapture what was done in the Hooper film, especially do it a little bit differently, like Mike Ryerson in Matt Burke's house. They also have scenes where, of course, Danny Glick outside of Mark Petrie's room. There's some things where they just tried to recapture that, and it doesn't come off effective at all, especially when compared to the Hooper film. I think the location works. It does. There are some cool things. I think the Marston house looks cool. There's some cool cemetery footage in it. Like I said, it's not a horrible film. It was interesting seeing it from different aspects. There are things that happen in the book that happen in this miniseries, especially the ending, which takes place in the exact same location as it does in the book. So that was different in the Hooper film. So yeah, there are some things that work. There's a lot of things that don't. But that being said, I think people should give it a chance and watch it. It's not a film that I love. It's not a film that I hate. I'm kind of middle ground on it. A lot of these characters in this film were forgettable. And I can't say that about the Hooper film, and that's just because I grew up with it and I love it. And I think everybody in that film, no matter how small their role was, brought their A game. So yeah, just doing a little tribute to Rutger Hauer. I think he was terrific as Barlow in this iteration of Salem's Lot. If I had to give this movie a rating on my scale, given the fact that there's a lot of narrative issues and some acting issues, I would give this film 2.5 skulls. So that is my rating of Salem's Lot, the 2004 miniseries. Of course, we are getting a new version of Salem's Lot that is being put out by James Wan, even though I really don't think it's necessary, but we're going to have to wait and see how it comes out. So thanks so much, everyone, for watching, and rest in peace to Mr. Rutger Hauer. Thank you so much for your fantastic movie performances, and not only this film, but also The Hitcher, which is one of my favorite movies he did, Blade Runner, Blind Fury, Hobo with a Shotgun, Lady Hawk. Can't say enough great things about the man. May he rest in peace. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this remake if you've seen it, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Patreon page if everybody wants to help support me. The link is down below, and if you do help support me, Dracula here will get more treats, and Dracula really loves his treats. So any support that you can give me would be very, very much appreciated, right, Drac?